Alrighty, feeling a little nervous for this one. Been a while since I've competed in a tournament. I'm going to push the mic off to the side and not say a whole lot, but I wanted to record, just get that initial feeling out there. Oh, jeepers. All right, let's go. What's happening, y'all? It's a new day, new you, new me, and today we're going to be actually watching back our tournament games. We're currently participating in the Ray Del Age King of the Gods 2 tournament. A very kind of refreshing feeling, so to speak. I haven't played in a tournament, in a 1v1 tournament, in quite some time, and I'm not going to lie, I did feel nervous, and you could hear that from that the reaction before the game. The pre-game jitters are here. So I'm playing against Shelty. I get the map Blue Lagoon, and I'm going to be playing set in this tournament. I've been playing a lot of set. I feel fairly comfortable with my set against pretty much everything. I've got a couple different strategies I really like to do, and a couple of hidden strategies up the back of my sleeve for a situation or two that might arise. So the first thing I notice here, and you can already see I'm misclicking like a crazy person, the jitters are real, but the first thing I'm noticing here is unfortunately I get a relatively exposed gold mine on the front of my base. This means a couple of things. It makes life really difficult for me, and I hate having the exposed gold mine against Oranos. If I get this sort of a gold mine, I generally start thinking about ways in which I can play around it. So at this point I go, all right, I got options. It depends on how my second gold mine looks. Very rare do you get a Blue Lagoon map where you get a second gold mine on your town center. But I'm trying to find my town centers and trying to have a good look and decide what sort of a strategy I'm going to go for here. I'm not rushing up the town center just in case. I'm not going to go for like a 4-minute advance time and put all my eggs in the basket of all of that stuff. But we'll well, we see that we got a gold mine off to the left. We see that we got a gold mine off to the right. And we see our back town center on the bottom left. So my thought process here is a 2 town center play against Oranos can result in some success, but you do need to have that safe gold mine. And I just don't feel like if I take that forward town center that I'm going to be able to have a very good game. There's too much weakness. There is a rhino on it or two there. I'm not sure at this point. There are some zebra at the front there as well. So it's not a bad town center by any stretch. Going for like a 4:16 advance time here and putting that town center up might be okay, but I'm just a little bit too worried about how I'm going to manage to protect this gold mine on the front. Now, whether or not that's a justified worry state, I don't know. I got 2 towers on the gold mine. It's just that he can run in from that top gap with Terma and just continuously pound me while basically forcing me to take fights that I really don't want to take in the classical age. So I've basically decided already I'm going to be doing a cheese strategy. Now, Set has got a myriad of different cheese strategies that Set can do. You can do a 1 town center fast heroic and do some sort of priest siege shenanigans. You can go for a fast mythic off of 1 town center. You can go for a shifting sands thing with your priests and your pharaoh. I just saw his villagers on the top of the map there, and I'm not gonna lie, there's a world where going for a villager rush not a villager rush, a priest rush on that top location could do a lot of damage to him. But in the moment, I didn't really think about that. So we're just going to be starting off here and seeing how we can manage to make all this work. Now, one thing you'll notice is that I do that a lot of other set players don't do, and whether or not this is good or not, I'll let you guys decide that. But I really hate building more than 1 granary with set. As Egyptian, the granaries take the longest to build out of everyone. You do have a pharaoh who can empower it up, but basically, if you're going to be sending your pharaoh out there to empower the granary up, that's going to be setting you back a significant amount of resources. So I instead decide to just convert my hunt and bring it back home. I get free hunt out of my temple as well, so I can immediately start eating that, and we can make it all happen. So at this point, I got a decent advance time. I've got my monument to the soldiers, monument to the villagers, armory is coming up, food's going to be coming through, and we're well and truly on the way to this fast heroic. Now, there's not... The thing is, advancing really, really fast to the heroic age is actually something that isn't a bad idea, because you get yourself... the siege works up faster. And effectively, the faster you can get the siege works up, the faster you can start production of siege towers, the faster you can attack your opponent. So... Unfortunately, my hyena gets spotted there by the Promethean offspring, and he's going to kill that off. But I do get the rhino. I'm just going to bring my priest back home, because I know that there's not really a whole lot of point risking that out there. And we're just going to eat all our animals and continue to advance to the next age. We've got our wall segments up on the front towers, and we defended our forward gold mine here. And, I mean, you can see that if I did go for that forward town center, there's that huge gap between the town center and that gold mine here, and you can see that the actual, even if I got all of these defenses up and I went for the town center, that forward houses there, they just get knocked down by some Murmillo and stuff, and I'd have to fight in a position that I don't want to fight in. I'm a little bit late on this back tower, and you can see that I'm going to have some issues here as Shelty comes in and causes some problems, but we got the resources to advance, and we are going to be heading through Nephthys, so no surprises. Where that's concerned, Shelty does utilize the shockwave, which, honestly, that's really good for me. I lose my Wadget. I don't really care about the Wadget in the slightest, as I get myself the hand axe. Did I get pickaxe? Hopefully I got pickaxe as well. I think I already got it at some point. But yeah, so we're heroic age. We got the villagers on wood. This wood line is really, really bad. I wish that I'd set up the defenses on my wood line on the bottom right, because that wood line's actually quite good. It's nice and long, and you can see he's actually going to be punishing me for it. The other option here is actually that I just chop down straggler trees on this map, because I just don't have I don't have an amazing gold mine, and defending the wood line is a little bit tough. And if I just chop down the straggler trees here, put the pharaoh on the town center, I would be able to get myself the 600 wood that I want, and be completely fine. But now we're going to get our stuff up. And the thing is here, he just has to work out what I'm doing. And, okay, I've actually kind of got a checkbox of things I need to make sure I'm looking at to decide what sort of a strategy I'm going to be going for here. So, at this point, basically the checkbox is he one town center or is he two town center? If he's one town center, he might be going to the heroic age. So that means I really want to be attacking the town center as fast as I can if he's one town center, which he is right now. He didn't go for a ridiculously fast town center. If he goes for two town centers really fast, then I want to attack, but I don't particularly want to bring my pharaoh or anything. I want to leave my pharaoh at home, so that I can build myself the giraffe to go to the mythic age. Very important getting to the mythic age in this matchup. If you don't get to the mythic age in this matchup, then you lose a lot of your advantage. So I see he's on one town center here, still on one town center, and I'm trying to decide exactly what strategy he's doing. My feeling at the moment, seeing how much army of his I've seen, is he's going for a fast heroic. That's my feeling right now. So I'm planning to go ahead and get him. As I just see the town center pop at 8 minutes and 45 seconds, I'm in preparation to get this attack off, and I need to realize that town center is up, and I have not realized it. So I click the vision, I go for the shifting sands, and I attack his town center, and my pharaoh is here, and I see the town center on the other side of the map, not really noticing. And I go, oh no, he's got a town center on the bottom. That means he can still get to the heroic age, which means my priest siege kind of attack here is going to be a little bit unfortunate. As I've got to do a little bit of macro here. I wish I was able to. I'm doing okay. So at this point, I'm like, all right, what do I do? I'm kind of committed to this attack. He's got 2 town centers. My pharaoh's not in my base. What do I do? I am at this point improvising. I really don't want to be in this position. I don't know what the best option to do is here. I'm just trying to kill off as many villagers as I possibly can. And I do get a fair few. I think maybe I got like 3 or 4 villagers there, which is really, really good considering he just got the town center up. So basically here, my idea is if I can get my pharaoh back home, I need to run my pharaoh. I need to mod my pharaoh like immediately. But I'm just trying to keep my pressure and getting as much value as I can. But I need to keep my pharaoh alive for many, many different reasons. But basically, you can see here that the pharaoh in that fight, while it did build some extra crocodiles, I didn't really need them. If the pharaoh was at home and I was on giraffe in my main base, I would already be mythic age at this point because I would have the 400 gold would be gone. I would have the villagers that would be able to have eaten the food, and I'd be in the mythic age. I'd be able to start making rhinos right now, which would allow me a very, very significant advantage in this game. Because I'd also be able to tornado his other town center, get an Avenger out, all of these good things to happen. But instead, I'm kind of be stuck in the heroic age for quite some time here. So we have to improvise a little bit. I'm trying to get that Migdol stronghold up to get a gold mine. My scouting is atrocious. There's probably a gold mine at the bottom right of the map that is a lot safer than at the left of the map, and you can see how many units he's got. So effectively right now, after all the damage that I've done, I'm about to suffer the same fate that Shelty has suffered, and I have to take my villagers and start some villager fighting here and attempt to get some good garrison micro and stuff to push him back. But we will start getting some chariot archers out, and we do have to be really careful about the chariot archers because unlike Ra chariots, the Terma actually hit the chariot archers, which is another reason why I really want to go to the mythic age, because then it gives me the rhinoceros, which become a really, really big tank and frontline for my chariot archers. So you can just see that it's kind of all going wrong here. The other thing is if I had a Avenger here as well, that would be a gigantic thing. And not only that, I now have to build, instead of building giraffe, which I want to be building here, I have to build crocodiles again for the assistance. But he is taking a lot of damage here. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's taking a lot of damage. And we can get back to the task at hand. And the other thing that's going on here, which is a little bit unfortunate, is my food income is in a very painful spot. I've got a lot of villagers on wood. Need some villagers on food, but I don't have any food because I have to build these crocodiles to stay alive. A little trick here is to ensure the Pharaoh is empowering the Migdol stronghold, does double damage. That crocodile down there, I have not noticed once, is really annoying me, not seeing that, as he's going to look for some raids here, and we are still in a bit of a difficult position trying to stabilize here, and he is getting a lot of villager kills. Part of me feels like at this point I might be close to equal. He's still one town center after all. We're probably close to equal in terms of actual economy after the first initial attack. It's just he's got so much more army than me, and he is he's Oranos. But I'm 2 town centers. But I'm on 7 villages on food. So 7 villages on food is probably around about 2 villages every maybe 20 seconds instead of 2 villages every 14 seconds. So it's not like it's awful. It's just I need to fix that, and I just haven't. I think the villagers are on berries at the moment or something as well, which is less than ideal. Another thing that I probably could have done when setting up that Migdol stronghold was throw up some walls. That would have given me a little bit more time. And definitely help me out here. And I still, basically, at this point, I still need to make crocodiles for a front line here, but I just... There we go. Now the giraffe's coming out. This is something I've started to do a little bit more recently, which is attempt to just build the animals on the front line, send them home, and eat them in the main base. But basically, I need to send that pharaoh into my main base, take a whole bunch of villagers off of wood onto food, eat a whole bunch of food, and call it a day. I'm microing pretty well here. I'm kind of in his I'm kind of in his brain a little bit. Like you can see, I'm pulling the right chariots back, but they're just not fast enough for them to be useful. But we do manage to. The one thing is that the Termera are a pretty rubbish unit. So even though they counter the chariot archers, they are what they are. So we finally pushed him back. He gets himself his second town center. He's probably getting himself his third town center. We're getting closer to stabilization here, as he's just continuously picking off villagers. And I'm feeling a little bit like Joe in this game, where it's just like my villagers don't matter at all. But yeah, now we can start the draft spammage that we wanted to, and we can start thinking about going to that mythic age. Because again, if we can get to the mythic age, we get rhinos, and if we get rhinos, then we can. And we find an elephant down the bottom, which is really huge. But if we can get to the mythic age, we can at least compete here in this game. Set mythic age against the Oranos mythic age with those rhinos. It does work, and I get caught out here. I'm so dumb. This is one thing. This is a really big hole in my gameplay. Is I don't protect my resources well enough, and I realize this. I understand that I do this, but it's like it's this. There's this thing that's this deep down hatred of walls in Age mythology and walls in general. That's come from like all the way back in vanilla days, where walls were absolutely bonkers broken. And I'm just like, nah, I'm not building walls. And I need to get over it. I need to work on it. And if I can defend my resources better, I'm definitely going to be feeling like I'm in a better position. Getting good volleys off. Retreat, volley, retreat. I've got some giraffes, so I can start up some front line with my pharaoh. Gotta be super careful about where I put that pharaoh there. We are full population. The thing is, right now though, his classical age, he's going to be going heroic age soon. I've got to. I mean, at this point, I've really got to be thinking about how can I also transition into some spearmen potentially here, because there is a pretty difficult counter as we get ourselves the heavy chariots, and I kind of feel like heavy chariots is a really nice counter to this, or not a nice counter, but a really big boost to this army to keep us alive. As I can see, his town center is going up, and I try and put some stop to it, but I mean, really, I'm not in any position to do anything as my villagers finish up on the food here, and I'm going to attempt to find myself a Ford gold mine. I need to put a migdol on it. Need to put on a migdol on it like yesterday. As he gets Hyperion. Hyperion means Clontarius or Destroyers, which both hard counter my chariot archers. But I am going Horus, but he has Hyperion. Now, this is something I learned in this game. I actually went and checked it afterwards. I thought, well, maybe I just got unlucky. But I thought that Animals of Set counted in the unit which gets cursed or chaosed. Excuse me, chaosed. I thought Animals of Set were a part of that. It turns out they very much aren't. And yeah. So you're going to see here, I'm going to send my Avenger forward, and I'm going to be upset, but it's fine. I'm going to send my Avenger forward, and it's going to get chaos, and I'm going to have to kill it. From now on, against the Atlantean players, I'm just going to send it around to a gold mine and try and harass that and try and force out the chaos on on a stray Avenger on their gold mine. That's just some inexperience playing this matchup, and I think most people don't go Hyperion here. Huge micro there from Shelty, and I'm actually in a really bad spot here, and I didn't get that hill fort up at all, which is really bad. And I've also got 0 villagers on gold, so losing all these villagers is not helping. But yeah, that's the way it goes. As I can start my rhinoceros up, and I can start feeling good about these fights. Now I think, did I click champion chariots there? I'm not sure if I did. Yeah, but here the Avenger comes in, Chaos comes in, and I'm like, oh, I got so many animals of set. Why didn't it hit one of my animals? Well, that's not how it works. Luckily, my Pharaoh is here to just clean that up nice and fast, but that Avenger would have been a huge help in that fight. I'm just going to be buying food for the moment, trying to keep the villagers producing and keep myself going until I can secure this gold mine, because if I don't get this gold mine up, I basically lose. And you can see he's hit Hecate, and he knows exactly what's going on. He's no dummy. He clicks the Tartarian Gate onto my Migdol stronghold, which basically means my my production is kaput here. And I think he hit the barracks as well. So maybe I have to be a little bit more smart about the barracks play, because I could have gone into slingers here as well, and I probably should have been building slingers here as well. Slinger, I imagine that Slinger Chariot against the Terma would have done a lot better than just mass chariots. So that's a bit of a learning moment for me here as well. As now our gold mine is going to get smashed into. We do still have the rhinos, but not a whole lot of them. I had to cancel them as well. I've only got the 2 monuments where I would like to have 3 at this point. All my villagers are feeling some pain here. But yeah, the rhinos do tank a bit. The mercenary cavalry tanks a bit. That random catapult there is not going to help me in the slightest. As 90 population, 2,000 wood in the bank, 16 villagers on wood is... it's not looking good for us, ladies and gentlemen. It's not looking good for us at all. More Clontari is going to come through, and I just don't have any economy left. Basically, I just don't have any economy left. And as good as the trash rhinos are, no economy is a sad place to be in. I do have 3 town centers. And 45 pop, 0 gold, 0 hope. I'm going to call game. I'm trying to treat these tournament games a little bit more seriously and play it out. I do kind of feel like I was lost once the Tartarian Gate hit the Migdol, but I was like, maybe I can continue. But yeah, a little bit of a tough one. I think if I just built... I think I actually did have a decent position here, even with the mistake of bringing the Pharaoh forward. Let me change the scene. Even with bringing the Pharaoh forward. I think if I just built slingers instead of just mass chariots there, I think I would have traded much, much better. I would have been able to produce much, much faster as well, because 1 Migdol versus a Migdol and a barracks means I'm getting out an extra slinger every chariot archer. And honestly, they do pretty well against the Milo as well, because obviously the Milo, it's just damage that's going to be coming through, right? So I think if I get into that situation again, I'll just make slingers, but yeah, it was a nice defense by Shelty. He got that town center up in a timing which I just didn't think it was a good timing for a town center, and I just didn't notice it. So I needed to put the Pharaoh into my town center and start building giraffes, hit the timing attack without the Pharaoh in the army, with all those crocodiles. It would have been completely fine. I would have got the same amount of kills. I would have done about the same amount of damage, but I would have been Mythic Age and on 1 town center instead of grabbing the 2 town center and Migdol. And I think I would have been much, much happier in that position than in the other position. But mistakes are mistakes. We'll go on to game number 2. If you guys enjoyed this video and enjoy me taking the game a little bit more seriously, let me know. Appreciate your comments and everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one.